Welcome to the Sleevy G Show. I'm the host with the most. My name is Gomez, and today is another great day. Why? I have a good friend of mine. He's also my special guest. I call him Big Daddy Cool because, man, if you saw him next to me, he's huge on me. But it's also the founder and CEO of Zenrgy Productions, DJRichResz. Rich, what is going on, bud?
Hey, G, man, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
No, not a problem, man. Thank you for coming on. Now, as we know, we're in March, and you know what that means. Business is going to start booming because why? People are saying the words, I do. And it's that time of year. So weddings are coming up, bar mitzvahs are happening, sweet 16s. As we were talking earlier, I know you got your one of your little ones is starting to have a birthday, even though this will be aired a little bit later, but we're just discussing about birthdays already.
Yeah, oh my God, it's craziness.
It is nuts. Now, the question is, as we were talking, I've known you since talk about 1992. I think we go back. We
Yeah,
both came back. We're both from Rutherford. We both were good friends through other people we met. We became good friends all these years, man. Think about it. 30 some odd years later, we're talking here.
it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Now, I remember you as a huge DJ, and still is, you're still DJing, everywhere here. But what inspired you to become a DJ?
I was my love for music early when I was younger, and I remember just getting my first record when I was like 6 or 7 years old to get the Thriller album from my parents and playing it nonstop over and over again. Anything to get a song in between a Beatles song on my dad would be great.
Yeah.
So I really like music going through there, and then when I moved to Rutherford from Carlstad and Montclair from where I was growing up,
Mhm.
hip hop was like this big thing then. Everything from Naughty by Nature to
Yeah.
Rex Effects, party tracks, the
Oh
stuff we're
yeah.
listening to now. You know what I mean?
Oh, now that we listen to 30 years later.
Exactly. So these are the songs that kind of brought me into, oh man, and I like this. I want to do something there. And well, I can't rap, so we got to do something.
Especially when we're in the good old town of Rutherford. Uh,
Yeah, it wouldn't have sunk in too well.
no, definitely not. But growing up in Rutherford, you went to Rutherford, I went to St. Mary's, which is kind of funny, you know what I mean? And we've met through mutual friends. Now, the fact is that our both love for the music, you know what I mean, for the hip hop. You were definitely into it much more than I was. But there was always that one spot we all went to go get the mixed tapes. Remember that place?
Oh, of course, Mondo Music, man.
Music. Okay. I will never forget. I used to go there like every 2 weeks to go get a mashup or the hottest DJ spinning the next best thing.
Cool.
And before Mondo Music, and when we were in our teenage years, we had that preteen nightclub back in
Oh,
the day,
yeah.
Music Factory.
Oh my God, the Music Factory. Oh, man, I lived there.
Oh,
Every
I think we both lived there Friday and Saturday nights. And I remember like Doug Miller DJing, you
Wow,
know,
I didn't know Doug did. I didn't know he
oh
did it then.
yeah, yeah. Me and Doug, I remember it's kind of funny because we shut down the St. Mary's homecoming dance party because it was the weekend Music Factory was reopening, again. And then me and him went to town and we were like, everyone's got to be here. This is where the homecoming is going to be. He's DJing. Dude, I was always up in the DJ booth with him, like every other weekend when he was DJing. I was like freaking Big Daddy, like you, man. I'm like living large.
Hell yeah, I love it. I've missed Dougie, man. I saw him a couple months ago. He came out to see me play.
Oh, nice, nice. He's still a cool dude. I talk to him once in a while through Facebook. So
Yeah,
big ups to Doug Miller and the St. Mary's crew over there.
yeah, he's
Um,
over there working for Johnny Buds over there doing
yeah,
his stuff still, so which is really cool.
yeah, and he still does his own stuff exactly. Now, I know hip hop was a huge influence. Now, as we were getting older, not you, but as we were getting older, you had to make some changes with music. You know,
Yeah.
um, like when you started DJing, I know you were doing before Zenrgy ever became a thing. You were doing like house parties, and stuff like that growing up. Like, how hard was it for you to start off? You know what I mean?
To get the music. I mean, we're talking before Napster and all downloads and all that stuff. To get the music and to carry the speakers and man, I had crates with CD players, and man, I gotta send you a picture, and it's hilarious. Like the stuff that I was DJing with because I didn't have the money for the good stuff yet.
Hmm.
You know, it was tough, but it made it more fun, I think.
Made him for more interesting times
Yeah,
too.
the technology makes it less fun, I think. You know
Ah,
what I mean?
man, if you think about it, the CDs that we all had, and I remember you had crates. I don't remember whose house it was, but you had crates and crates of CDs. And I'm like, how the hell are you DJing? And I remember you had a few CD players there, which is
You need them
classic.
just in case, right?
Yeah, because it was classic. Because, like you said, at that time, you and I, we're definitely not into the money. We
Yeah, definitely not. For me, it was just love then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's not where it's become your business, but it's taking you a certain amount of years to finally build up where you want it to be.
Sure.
I mean, you went from bar to probably nightclub to, to finally getting to your own spot. Now, how hard was it when you finally got your equipment going on? How hard was it to start spinning in clubs and stuff like that?
Luck,
Okay.
like networking, just meeting certain people and just going out and doing all those things. And just by the luck of anything, I ran into somebody that knew a promoter who didn't DJ in the best, or he didn't have the best, he didn't promote in the best neighborhoods. I was in Patterson and Passaic and like not great neighborhoods when I first started, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but it hit my demographic and I got to play the music I liked. So it was cool. It was really cool. Like, really lucky early.
So yeah, so you're definitely getting the mix of the hip hop and actually the reggaeton era almost growing at that time.
100%. Yeah.
So definitely you got no, I wouldn't say luck, but you were at the right time. You were right there at the right spot at the right time.
Which was 100% part of it. You know, that was the big thing.
So there you go. So the love of the music. Where did the love of the music come from? I guess is now the next big thing for you. Like where did it come from growing up?
All right. So my aunt, one of her friends was a DJ.
Oh, okay.
I spent a lot of time with her growing up. She's only like 12 years older than me or something like that. So, and he played basketball too. So obviously the love there for basketball and I like music. And then we would hang out when he was over the house. We would hang out, talk music, and then he would give me his mixtapes. And then it was like, "Hey, Rich, you want to carry my crates? I'm playing at this little club over here." Mind you, I'm like 15 years old. My parents they would have not have gone for that. You know what I mean? So my aunt luckily was like, "Hey, you want to help him? Yeah, no problem." Because it beats her carrying the records in. So I got to go into some places I probably should not have been in at that time period. Uh,
I know how that goes. Trust me.
yeah, go bar or nightclubs and things like that at
Ah,
14, 15 years old. And they let me hang out and listen to the music.
and that was cool.
Yeah, and it was a nice vibe. And it just started building different stuff. And I learned some of the older music and it was really, really dope, man. I really enjoyed it.
Now, as we've gotten older and the music demographic has changed, you know what I mean? Now you're seeing, and I say now, I mean, even 10 years ago, you see the difference with the music, like the older stuff, like the 50s, 60s, 70s, were making a comeback to the DJing world a little bit.
100%. You're seeing like stuff like disco house coming around, and it's
Hmm.
like the big thing in the city right now. Disco is a huge, huge aspect of what's going on in the nightlife there. So you're seeing not just the newer stuff, the disco house stuff, but you're seeing the classic disco in everywhere, in all the nightclubs and in all the venues there, which is pretty amazing because I missed that whole period of my life. I never got to see that. You know what I mean?
I never
Big
got to see
baby.
disco either. Yeah. Well, I was a 79 into the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
So I never had the opportunity to see that. And I know, growing up, we had the Music Factory, but as we got older, we had the Tunnel, we had Webster Hall, we had all these awesome nightclubs in the city, or we had Tribeca in Jersey, Abyss, Joey's, just to name a few.
Yeah.
And for you and I, like you said, I felt I had a band, I had a good friend of mine who was in a band, 18 years old, he's playing, and I look like a twin of his. So I didn't get carded. So I just went in carrying his guitar, saying, "Yeah, I'm with him." It's like, "Oh, you're his brother, no problem. Just get in."
That's
Like,
great.
and there I am. I'm sitting there with a couple of beers, and I'm being called Big Papa all night. because I got in.
When you're as
So,
big as we are, it's hard to ID us, man.
oh, it's hard. Yeah, that is true. We both stand over 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
So, and that's the funny, like, we both grew up in Rutherford. We never got a chance to play against each other except I think for rec basketball. That's about it.
Summer League, man. We sumo wrestled quite a bit there.
Oh yeah, 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 we did.
Remember the fat guy shuffle coming back and hey, Rich, take a break here.
Yeah, yeah. Let's pretend, as we're both giving each other the
Just
forearm.
leaning on each other the whole
Yeah,
game.
those were the great times though, growing up in our town, you know what I mean? And it's kind of funny. I feel like now as I've gotten older and as you and I are married with our families, I noticed that one thing is like everyone's inside more. Now, COVID's a huge deal because of that.
Yeah.
But I remember when we were growing up, we had Blimpie, we had Mondo Music, we had the Great Escape Arcade for a while until that got tore down.
Oh yeah.
We all had our football games. We had the Rutherford High games. We had the St. Mary's High games. Like we were always out. But the funny thing is, what we always had was either our Walkmans or CD players,
Always.
and we always were swapping tapes. Or like the next big club tape or the next mix CD. Someone dropping it or like God, some of the DJs like we used to listen to. Besides you, Doug, but you're talking some of the big names that we used to. God, I can't remember half of them because it's been so long for me.
My favorite one is just go picking up Richie Rydell's tapes at Mondo and just pumping them. They don't work anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I wish I still had them. You know what I
You know
mean?
what's fun? I wish I had all those mixtapes, man. I
Um,
remember.
Insane. There's no way they would still work because I played them until they popped. That's for sure.
Oh well, yeah. We definitely had a problem with that. And I mean, but if you think about it, we used to hang out at Placino's house too.
Oh yeah.
You remember we're always on his deck. We're always popping the damn tapes in, the CDs. I mean, that used to be the love of the music too. We all hung out and listened to music, and that was something that I know it's a huge compilation, but now you come up with the big idea to open up your own company. Now, how did that come about opening up this company now?
All right. So truth be told, it's not my first one.
Okay.
I had a partner. We started a company named Blue Line Productions.
Okay.
It was out of Rutherford. Me and my buddy Dan, we opened a company and things were picking up. Things were really good. We had different ideas of what we wanted to do with the company.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to do more corporate, meetings, things like that. Probably was not a bad idea because there's a lot of money in that stuff.
Yeah.
But I really like the music aspect of it,
Mm-hmm.
and being hands-on on the events and dealing with people, making people happy, dance, have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Was more important to me than always making a money. So I really, when we separated the companies, I was like, I don't want to do as much of the corporate stuff. I really want to stick to making people dance and playing music for me. And even though I'm of the forefront for my company now, it always hasn't been that way. I worked with a lot of MCs, a lot of really amazing people that it looks like they own the company, not me, because I'm playing the music and
Right.
they're on the microphone and all that stuff. So for me, it's more the music, and I started this because I really wanted to play music and make people dance. So,
and let me tell you, you've done an awesome job. You do have a few awesome guys here, but one thing I like to stand out is the Wedding Wire Awards from dating back to 2015 to last year. I think you only had 1 year you didn't get. It was 2021, which is kind of weird, but it was
2021. Just think
COVID.
about what we came out of. It's really the award for the year before.
Yeah. So I mean,
so if there's no weddings, can't get an award, right?
yeah, that you're having shotgun weddings at homes. I mean, maybe you could do like I remember during COVID, which I think was awesome. A lot of people like yourself would go on Facebook Live before they started charging people and do DJing and let the people hear the music. You know what I mean? And that was really cool.
Did a lot of that, man. To me, just to be able to engage with people was really fun for that.
See, and that's the cool thing. Like now I know you guys do a lot of weddings. Excuse me, weddings, parties. Like, what's your favorite place to go and have a wedding at? Let's see about that. I know there's a few places, but
Oh
what's the one
boy.
spot you go to a lot that you love going to?
I would say that seriously, for me, it's not about the venue where I'm playing the music.
Mhm.
I mean, it's loading in now. So the Corona Farms, the places that are all flat surface, you don't have
You're
to
right.
breaking your back. Because it's always the worst part about it. But if I had to pick a place, um, there's a lot of really cool places in Brooklyn, some rooftop stuff.
Oh, okay.
Places in Manhattan that I just love. I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Right.
Um, but a lot of those places they're a little bit more unique
Hmm.
rather than just wedding factories. They give you a little like you get a little view, you get some cool New York style, little flair.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's a lot of the stuff that I've been trying to do lately, and it's working out pretty well. It's really fun.
Well, I know. I've seen some of you again. I see some of your clips on TikTok. I see
Yeah,
some of your clips on Instagram, and I see that I see you're not just based in New Jersey. You actually went into the city,
yeah,
which that's hard to do too, especially being from New Jersey, hauling your crew and the equipment over.
yeah.
So it's like when you're doing your event, how many guys in the crew though?
So Sunday was going to be our first wedding of the year. We got 4 guys going out with us.
Wow. Now where's that wedding at?
That one is going to be at the Mansion in Mountain Lakes, actually. Not
Oh,
far.
okay. Not that far from both of
Nice and
us.
local, yeah.
All right, so it's a nice local wedding, thank God.
Yeah, I'm souped to just blow the roof off the place and finally get into the wedding flow for the year because this is legit my first wedding of the year. Everything else has been smaller stuff, a lot of little parties, but
Mhm. But
yeah,
it's gonna start blowing up as we're talking, you know what I mean? Like weddings are everyone's starting to book venues and
yeah,
now when I got married, they suggested who to go and stuff like that. Is there like a specific venue that say, hey, check out Zenrgy Productions. They're really good. They're our choice of DJs. Is there like one or two spots you have like that?
yeah. We have a couple that we work with pretty closely. They have other vendors that that they work with as well. So
Just like everybody else, yeah.
of course, yeah. I mean, you can't be everywhere, every weekend. So although some of the big companies seem like they could be everywhere, so I don't know. More
Yeesh.
factory.
Yeah, no, but I mean, but the cool thing is, like you said, you like it's the love of the music. Now, as DJ equipment has gone from when you started, not we, shouldn't say we, because I never learned. I always wanted to, but
Wish you did.
I wish I did too. Trust me, it would have been Twin Tower productions probably. But it
I
was
would
funny.
love to see you rolling out with Dougie, you with the on the tables and him MC. It'd be
That,
amazing.
that would have been really cool though.
Yeah.
My love for the DJs, the guys like yourself and Doug, and even seeing the movies like Juice, with Omar Epps was Q, DJing, scratching, mixing it up. And just seeing that's what's something I always loved, you know what I mean? And hearing how you go in from one song to another and mash them up at the right time, cueing it. And it's kind of funny. Now I know as technology because I see a lot of people now is with their laptops, you know what I mean? Like everything's connected through the speakers to the laptop. Now, personally, do you like using the laptop or do you still go back to the old school with the vinyls or the CD?
You can't really beat the feel of the vinyl, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you always get the itch, right?
Mm.
Uh the vinyl is always going to be there for me. There's always something I can go back to. And the cool thing is you just use the vinyl to control what's going on the laptop. So it'll listen to everything. It's really awesome. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
But I don't want to carry that stuff no more.
No, I get you.
Technology is saving us, man.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, my table, I'm gonna say it's about 4 feet.
Yeah,
The DJ's table is about 4 to 6 feet, and depending on the features you guys have, you could have the small mixer, or you could have the 3 or 4 or 5 thousand dollar mixer, and then you're spreading yourself over here, then you go over here.
yeah.
That's where you need like a 2-man crew on that.
And luckily I get to work with some really great people they don't mind carrying my gear for me. So
Listen, if I didn't have a bad back and 2 kids, I'd say just do it for the love of it because of the music.
yeah,
You know,
sometimes it's not bad to get out of the house, right?
trust me, I know. That's why I missed coaching football. But
Yeah, dude, that's
yeah,
great.
one thing I miss is coaching.
Mm.
I coach the same areas. So after I graduated, I had an opportunity. Since I hurt my knee, couldn't do much. I said, forget it. If I can't play, I might as well coach it.
That's awesome. I didn't know you were coaching. That's great.
Yeah, at St. Mary's, I got the 2006 state championship ring right behind me.
That's awesome.
So for me to get it as a coach was a true honor because I didn't think I was getting one, to be honest with you. All I did was really broke down Patterson Catholic's film. Like I broke it down, videotaped it, gave him the plays, how many times he ran it, and I just gave it to them. And when I was at the beefsteak and they're like, here's a ring, I'm like, what? Like,
Awesome.
I didn't want to take that thing off.
The beef steak was not. That was like a month ago, right?
It was just 3 weeks ago. I was just at the alumni beefsteak, actually, which was kind of cool. It wasn't the kids, it was just all the alumni
Yeah.
from past teams. If the future team, if the present team was there, that was great. But it was
I
more
saw
for,
a bunch of people out. I was at PT for a little while before.
I was
work.
just saying, I was gonna go to PT, but I was
So Joe Tyberzi was there. I saw a bunch of people there.
yeah, Joe Tyberzi was probably there, probably Cormac, knowing him. I know Coyne were there. I don't know if Holst went. I know a lot of guys. They were talking about it, but I'm at that stage, like I'm not that young anymore.
I'm with you there.
And I'm thinking of the family. Like I can't, as much as I want to go to PT and Blarney every time, you know what I mean? I'm in that area. But it's like, it brings back some memories you don't want to have. I've gone a few times. I hung out with a couple old friends from Rutherford and met up at Blarney or PT for a couple of beers, but that's about it. The nights of going out to 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning are kind of dead. But I mean, for DJing, it's a different story.
Even I have a hard time waking up the next day. I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah, it's not like how we used to be. 3 o'clock in the morning, up at 5, have a cup of coffee. We're good for the day.
Yeah, Friday I was out. I worked till 2 in the morning, and then had to do it again Saturday, and then do it again Sunday.
So you went 3 days in a row. So that's not easy. Now,
4 Thursday too. I worked.
So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, I know, I always see you post, and that's one thing I always love. I appreciate people who post about where they're DJing. Now, I know you got some spots you DJ at.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you are at McBride's.
Yeah, Joey, say a little bit.
Yeah, you're there a little bit. And I know there's a couple other spots you want to talk, like where else?
There's a new place, Basque 46, right here in, so I think it's Woodland Park too. So they're both the same town. They're right around the corner from each other.
Okay.
But it's a nice place, really good food. Back there on the 21st of was it April? Yeah, so April 21st, I'm back there. Nice little spot.
I gotta check that place out.
Oh yeah, you'll love it, man. Good food.
No, you just said the key word, good food.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with some good food.
Nice brick oven pizza. They got nice wings, everything there. Burgers are ridiculous.
Ooh.
Yeah, you gotta pop in, check it out.
I definitely am gonna have to. I can ever escape? Yes, I will.
Dude, bring the fam. It's a family place during the day, man. Come go check it out. It's worth it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything here on this show.
No,
I know.
Never know when they're listening.
Yeah, upstairs, the studio is an open basement.
Yeah, that's tough.
It is tough, but it's fun though.
Who am I kidding? I'm sitting in my bedroom right now.
Hey, that's a good thing, man. Now after we're done here, you can just go, I'm done, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, checking out.
Exactly. Now, being that I know we're talking about music, DJing, and all that stuff, but now my question is, you're a huge sports fan. I always got to mix in a little bit different stuff here. And I know we have the love of the Giants.
We do.
That's now, as the draft is coming around and we're hearing rumors, I mean, first of all, Daniel Jones's contract. What did you think about that?
It's hard to swallow, man. Like, just because you're looking at the lack of production beforehand.
Yeah.
Love what he did last year. And I think that he could probably do even better going forward. They got to put some talent around this guy.
Yeah, we need to put an offensive line together. That
I'm hoping they get a center in that first round, nice because they're picking nice and late. I would be comfortable picking a center there.
I agree with you 100%. A center would be nice, but also, my thing is this: I love who we picked up wide receiver wise. I love our new tight end, Waller. We finally got. I mean, I'm not saying our last couple of tight ends were not big enough, but this kid is 6'6".
Yeah,
and a brick house. I mean,
hell of a rapper too.
That, and he had some little issues too. He did, and what's kind of funny, he did talk about his drug issues when he was in Vegas, which is
Yeah.
very huge because a lot of people don't talk about that.
Yeah, he said he's never passed the drug test pretty much.
Yeah, and that's
Over
huge.
50, 52, or 55 drug tests he failed or something like that.
Yeah, and he got
Insane.
clean though. He's like, I'm clean. I'm not doing that stuff.
That's great.
So I'm hoping that the Giants picked up the tight end that we need, like a Shockey slash. I would
We
say,
haven't
yeah,
had anybody that good since,
yeah, we
really.
really haven't. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, now, I mean, as we're both Giants fans, I know you and your brother have tickets.
Not anymore. He sold them.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he sold
Ooh, sorry. Never
them.
mind then. At that note, we'll just get game tickets whenever we can.
Exactly.
We'll leave your brother at home for that one now.
I like watching it at home.
So do I. And why? Convenience of a bathroom. There's no line.
Truth. And listen, I'll go to a tailgate here and there, but
I haven't been to a tailgate in about a couple of years. The last one was with my wife. I want to say it was my brother-in-law, and my sister-in-law. It was against the Eagles. No, Redskins. Redskins. Yes, before they switched to Commanders. So it was a
yeah.
couple of years ago. And I'll never forget, it was one of those rainy day games. It wasn't raining at all. We kept hearing in the forecast, rain, rain, rain. Of course, stupidly, we never bought the ponchos. We forgot them at home. But I'll tell you, I had my cigar and I was warm with my Jack Daniels before game.
That's it.
but, when we got into the game, you seeing us buy ponchos, and me, stupidly, I put my hand through a spot. I thought it was, my poncho was ripped. I jerry rigged my poncho, man. Well, you know what? That's the love of the game that we have for the Giants. You know what I mean?
To sit in the rain and the cold to go watch a game, That's
Hey,
tough.
when you get tickets for free, you're just enjoying it.
Shoot, I paid for the tickets. Me and Mike V just went last year for a birthday. We usually go for his birthday for one.
Right. I'm hoping next year, if not next year, another year, I definitely want to take my daughter to her first Giants game, and I want to take her to a Rangers hockey. It just have to get her to sit still to watch the game.
That age. I think I brought both of my kids about that age, but maybe I give her one more year.
Yeah, I definitely like to give her one more year because I want her to experience when me and my wife, when we go out or when I go with my friends. I kind of want to give her a little bit of experience. The tailgating, not as much, but go to the game, go to an early afternoon game, get in, enjoy the stadium, and catch a beautiful day. You know, helicopters, airplanes, fighter jets passing the stadium before game.
Yeah.
Those were the fun times. And one thing is, like, it's kind of funny. This is, I think, Daniel Jones's fifth year.
Fifth year, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Eli. Now, Eli did the same thing on his fourth year, but he won the Super Bowl. It was his fourth
You're
year.
right. You're right.
It was either his fourth year or his fifth year that Eli, we did the same thing. We gave him big money, and everyone never liked Eli for the first couple of years, just like we don't like Daniel Jones. Well, I do. I think Daniel Jones finally has gotten a coach, a GM, and people that could actually give him an offensive playbook that he can work with.
He's exciting to watch, man. He really is.
He is. And some of his passes this year were unbelievably crisp. I mean, his interceptions were down.
Yeah, by half, right? I think it's about
half. Yeah, I don't think he threw as many picks as we normally get to see in a game, especially 6 in one game.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so I mean, for me to see him hopefully prove people wrong. Now, he had his breakout season last year. He's not going to be the next Josh Allen. We know that. He's not next Patrick Mahomes. But could he be the next Tom Brady? Quiet? You never know.
Listen, he does his job. It's more like an Eli Manning thing, man. Look where he learned. He learned from Eli.
He did, and Peyton.
Went to the camp and all that stuff. I think that goes a long way, learning how to be a professional when you're younger.
Especially in probably the hardest market in the NFL, NHL, MLB, soccer, NBA. You're talking about the mecca of sports.
Yeah.
As one of the, Jay-Z and Alicia Keys says, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
It's true. I agree with that.
everyone struggles. Even if you're from New Jersey, you're still part of New York because literally New York is 20 minutes away from us.
We're just another borough, North Jersey. Man.
Yeah, we're just New York. We're North Jersey borough of New York.
Yeah.
A lot of New Yorkers live here to go to work in New York. You know what I mean? And for me to see the Giants this year and the little itty bitty Jets, yeah, I'll say the Jets. Let's see if you get a quarterback that can throw a ball.
Who knows what the heck's going on there?
Aaron Rodgers it's like weird. You can get Aaron Rodgers, or he wants to become a Jet. Why didn't the trade ever happen?
I don't think it's him. I think that compensation. It's got to be a compensation.
Well, it's what I'm hearing is that the Jets have, I think, the 11th pick in the first round, and I don't think the Jets want the first pick to let go. But not for nothing.
They're fighting for second picks now.
Oh, they're second picks. Okay, I heard it was the first.
Yeah, 2 second rounders is all they're giving up.
I mean, you're giving up 2 second rounders for probably an NFL legend.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
Granted, he has a couple of screws loose, but he would fit in with that team very well in that case.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how great he'll be in that market though.
New York market, I think he'll do fine.
I think he's better than Favre was at that point in his career.
Yeah, I mean,
press maybe, but
Favre came in a really crappy way into the Jets. They pretty much said, "We're trading you for a 5th round draft pick. We don't care about you anymore. See ya."
Yeah.
He played for the Jets, was it 2 seasons, Brett Favre?
I think so. One was like injured prone,
and then he had his break.
He went to the playoffs though, didn't he?
He did go to the playoffs with the Jets, and then he goes to the Vikings, and he again proves how good he is. I mean, and now poor Brett Favre could be serving 20 to life. With his money troubles that he's having now.
I don't even know about that stuff. See, I got to follow up on more of the news.
Dude, I try to watch ESPN whenever I can, or I listen to other podcasts.
Yeah,
so I mean,
time for that stuff.
You really want to know?
Kids and work and answering the phone and all that stuff.
Oh God, it's whenever I have a chance, man. Even on the car ride home, I'm either listening to ESPN radio. I try to catch the news before I leave, so I'll get up like at 5. If I can get up at 5:15 to get 15 minutes of morning news, I get it. Sometimes I don't sleep well, so at 4:00 ESPN is on, Sports Center's there. So, and I try to get into work a little extra early so I can catch up on some stuff. Like if I miss
network guy, I pop that on as soon as I get in the car. I'm good to go.
So it's like it's. Don't get me wrong. There's days I don't feel like listening. I listen to my music. I mean, I go to old Spotify and I'm like, oh, I want to hear that song today. You know what I mean? And it's kind of funny. There was a couple old songs that I overheard on my little mix list, and it was funny. It was the Percolator.
Ah.
and I'm thinking about the good old days. When you were DJing Doug and everybody, and hearing that song, and we always had a different way for singing that song, which I'm not going to say is specifically we're talking about your business. We'll keep that on the hush hush in the DL. But if anybody has an imagination, just think what Percolator could translate. And, we always used to say it in the clubs and go crazy. And, going to the games and you hear all this awesome. What's funny is you're hearing music from the 90s, though. You hear Out There Brothers, Boom, Boom, Boom.
We're the old heads now, man.
Yeah, we are. You know what's funny? That's no joke. You hear Pump Up the Jam. You hear the Chicago Bulls theme song still. It's kind of funny to hear this at stadiums, you know what I mean? But to hear it, though, as you're an adult, and you're like, I remember that when I was a kid. It's nuts. I mean, I've known a couple of DJs besides you. Like, I know one DJ who has DJ'd at the Devils, at Rutgers, at Brooklyn Nets games. He was like their main DJ for like a season or two.
Nice.
And let me tell you, that's something that's cool because I actually went to a game. I didn't even know he was working. And I even said, "You suck," pretty loud. And he heard me and he knew who it was.
Oh, no way.
Well, because he invited me up. It was the coolest thing to seeing where his booth is. And you're talking, if you go to the Rock, second level in that area.
Yeah.
He's got a great view. And I mean, even the at the Garden, I've hadn't gotten great seats last couple of years to games, and my wife has given me allowed me to go last year to the playoff game. And during periods, they have DJs, and I'm just listening to the music. I'm just like, wow, they're just feeling the crowd. And at Giants games, hockey games, baseball, the crowd's jumping up and down. As a DJ, you see the flow. Like, how do you know when that flow is going? Like, you just feel it, or do you see it?
A lot of it's just an energy thing
Mm,
and being really good on the fly.
okay.
You know what I mean? If you're jumping into a game, like in a game situation, I just did something like this at FDU about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
It was a basketball game, police department versus police department, a lot of Bergen County stuff.
Okay.
So I'm playing music in the game, the same stuff you're saying, pump up the jam and like
Yeah.
all that. We're doing the tip ball for the opening game, and I'm playing the Chicago Bulls anthem. You kind of just you gotta just go with the flow, and then hopefully you get lucky and land a couple of the perfect songs at the perfect time and really jack up the energy a little bit.
Now, I know you've done a ton of weddings. I've been to a ton of weddings too, so which is kind of funny. Back in my day, I was the last one to get married. So I've been to a lot of, let's just say, single weddings for myself, just to go with single, no plus one. But it was funny. I always see how the DJ works the room, and I always see, like, if one song dies it off, you see everyone kind of walk away. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay, I gotta somehow bring it back. Like, as a DJ, do you like, oh shit, did I make a mistake? Like, not saying it out loud on the microphone, but I mean, does that happen like a lot for DJs? I mean, like, I've seen it maybe once or twice in my whole entire wedding seasons.
I think weddings, I think, is a little easier to kind of, you already kind of know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You deal with the bride and groom want, and then you know what already works at weddings.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, certain songs just happen to work. Now, there's different remixes and different ways of playing those songs and getting in and out of them. That's, neither here nor there. But I'll tell you right now, doing kid stuff like sweet 16s and mitzvahs and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
to keep those kids' attention is super difficult, especially now in the age of phones
Yeah.
and the 15-second TikTok, do your dance thing. That's the only part of the song they know. When that's part of the song is over, you have to get out of that song and do something else, or else you're going to lose them. They're going to walk off to the hallway, go sit in the corner, and get on their phone again.
Yeah. That,
So I don't think, for me, for weddings, I think that it almost seems automatic where the dance floor is just going to be busy.
mm-hmm.
But everything else is kind of, you really got to work hard for it sometimes.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
attention's just not there anymore. These kids don't have the attention for, especially like if you play a song that's new,
Yeah.
older, that they don't know. They just walk away. And you're like, oh, wow, that's how'd that happen?
Oh,
This
okay.
song right now, like this is a great song.
And you're like, yeah, and the crowd's not feeling it. Well, it's kind of funny. I went to a wedding. I'm not going to say the guy's name or anything. We went to a wedding, and they played this one song. I don't know if he meant it to go from a pure awesome jam to like a slow jam. Like, he totally messed it up. Like, it just did not flow. You see everyone like, woo, like jumping up and down, like jump around, like almost, like when you play in House of Pain, jump around. You just don't go to Casey and JoJo all my life.
Not without a little help in between.
No, but that's what happened. You see us all like jump around, and then all my life, you're like, seriously, dude?
Yeah.
I've never seen a dance floor escape so quickly and hit to the bar. It was bad. Like, yes, go from jump around to maybe a little Drew Hill. How deep is your love? And then slow it down a little bit. Like, hey, we're gonna go. Now you say, oh, well, we're gonna slow it down a little bit for you slow guys, for the slow dancers.
Not everybody knows how to transition, man. It's one of those things. It's a learned thing. It's
But
not
that's also,
you're born with.
no, but it's also a gift though for anybody who does it, like yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you would know. All right, we got to jump around. Let's drop it down a little bit, a couple of notches. Let's do and like I'm just picking songs out of the groove. You know, Drew Hill, How Deep Is Your Love? You know what I mean? And then that goes down a little bit. Everyone's kind of okay. We're slowing down. We're just grooving with the day. And then you go, hey, we're going to a little slow jam now for you people. You know what I mean? And then
You
you go,
have it. You have what it takes. There's a reason you should be doing this. I'm telling you.
yeah, but I mean, it's well, I think I could have done it. I just couldn't do the scratching the way I like to. You know what I mean?
That's just practice. I'm not very
Oh,
good at scratching myself. I'm like a
but
mediocre scratcher, but
yeah, but it's funny. Like I always, but the problem is, I always wanted to do it, but I just don't have the confidence. You know what I mean? Like you do.
important.
You know, that's
I
the
believe
important
it's
things.
important. Yeah.
Because you know when people
I
go,
understand how important it is to be confident in what you're doing.
well, that's the thing. Like you know, when I had my other show, Playlist Wars, with my co-host Brian,
Yeah.
you know, I was not very confident until maybe the fourth episode when I found my niche with Beastie Boys. You know, we were talking about No Sleep to Brooklyn, and
Love it.
I'm like, guys, do you remember this movie with Steven Seagal and it's Out for Justice?
All right.
You know, and that's where he was trying to find Richie. You know, and then you hear no sleep to, and I'm just imagine him driving in the old Ford. You know, he's looking for this guy, and Doug and Brian were like, "Oh, dude, holy shit!" You know what I mean? They're like going crazy because I
Those
found
all
my
the Steven
niche.
Seagal movies were classics, man. I love that stuff.
Oh God, Mark for Death. You know, one of my favorites, Out for Justice. I loved all his Above the Law is another great one. He had huge hits,
Yeah.
and you know, and that's what I loved about confidence. And that's where I think I gained my confidence. And when we decided to take a hiatus, I'm like, all right, I'm bored. What do I do? And here I developed Sleevey G.
Love
And
it, by the way. I love the name, the sleeves out. I love it.
oh yeah, well, see, you want to laugh? This is how I interviewed with my other show. I'm at home, I'm comfortable.
You're comfortable. That's it, man.
And everyone goes, oh, we're gonna hang out with the sleeveless one. And I'm like, wow, I like that. I love the niche there.
I love
And
it.
and someone goes, oh, we're hanging out with Sleevey G here. And it just became a tag, excuse me, on Twitter. And when I started thinking of the idea about going solo a little bit, I wrote, should I go with the Sleeveless G, the Gomez Project, or Sleevey G? Sleevey G like took 80% of everything.
It flows nice, man.
It flows nice. So I went to a friend of mine out in Colorado who designed my logo. And I said, you know me, you know who I am. You have all do what you do best. You're a designer. Design it.
He nailed
And
it.
he nailed it, and I thought it was hilarious. And people were like, everyone's like sleazy. I go, no, it's sleevey, sleevey G, because I'm sleeveless. And people are like, I love it. To getting a 2-time Emmy Award, Christina Bear loving the idea of the show and the name. She was cracking up.
Yeah.
Having another Emmy nominated YouTube channel host like Cara DeFalco going, I love the name of the show. It's just too good. And I had Don Smith, who's on Tri-State Traffic, for me to say that. So my confidence in the episodes that I've done so far, especially with you, has grown. And I feel like that's why I love what I do. Like how you love the music. This is my love what I do. And for people who subscribe, who are listening, it's the greatest thing if and I also do a blog and I wrote some good pieces already. Oh, excuse me, that caught people's attention. Like, who's your hero? Matter of fact, I wrote about my days at St. Mary's as a football player. From my freshman, sophomore, senior to my senior year, like little quick drops, but boom, people get the gist of it. Something about anti-bullying. You know what I mean? I'm really against bullying, even though I was bullied and I was a bullier. Things like that. And if I can get someone just one attention, that means I did my job. Where you have to get your attention is like 200 to 300 people sometimes.
Yeah. True.
Sorry, I gotta get hydrated here.
Listen, that cough's not going to get better on its own. That's for sure.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Now, wedding's coming up. Now, when we talked, and I remember you had your shop here in Fairfield, and you said it closed in June. No, thanks to those wonderful apartments coming up. So now you're based at home. Now, how is your clientele meeting with you at your house, or do you guys meet somewhere, or like?
almost 90% of the time now we're doing Zoom stuff,
Okay.
which is kind of great. Makes things a lot easier. It's great for me. It's great for them. They can be home. They can and do all that stuff. I'm a very in person person. I really would rather have an office.
Right.
So I'm not going to say that I'll never go back to it because that's something I would do. They never really gave me an opportunity to like. They were just like, "Oh, it's time to move out." I'm like,
Yeah.
and we're in the middle of busy season. It was already June, so it's not like I really had an
Oh,
opportunity. I literally barely had time to get my stuff out of there.
oh my God. That's gotta be the worst too.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. They really didn't give us an opportunity to say or do anything. So I was out, and then I've been busy. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm not gonna go out of my way to go spend money on an office that I don't need right now.
Right. But it's eventually one day you're gonna,
It the market's gonna go back to that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
People are still very comfortable doing Zoom.
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt.
2020 made it very easy for Zoom to happen.
And thank God for learning Zoom too, because I tell you, it's a great thing for my show, you know what I mean? So for you to have meetings with your clients, which is good. And
Yeah, I
that's,
love
and
it.
that's the best part.
You can still be face to face without without the headaches of, you know, you're less time constrained too. You're not sitting in traffic on 46 or 80 trying to get to my office. And,
Yeah.
I'm not driving up there just for an hour meeting.
No,
You
I
know,
got you. Yeah, you're not that close to
yeah,
Fairfield.
yeah, listen, I'm at Pequannock. I'm not far, 15, 20 minutes. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. But 15, 20 minutes turns into a 45-minute to an hour drive.
Yeah.
I mean, I work in Morristown from where I live.
Oh,
And
yeah. That'll do
I take 287 north back home. If I take the back roads or home, it's still a 45-minute drive. So when COVID happened, I was home with like 20 minutes. Everything back to normal, it's back to 45 minutes.
I have a ton of stuff booked out on Long Island for the summer, and last summer is when I first started doing like the Long Island thing. And before that, I really had never been there before. Man, that Hamptons Drive is absolutely insane in the
Is it
summer.
really?
I've never sat in a car for so long for no reason whatsoever. Like you're just sitting in traffic for no reason at all.
Well, you're going to the Hamptons. You're talking about
Yeah, but you leave at like 10 o'clock in the morning for a 5, 6 o'clock an event, and you're like sweating, like you don't know if you're gonna get there on time. It's insane.
Oh, I
It's an
believe
all
it.
day thing when I head out there. It's really nuts.
Especially the Hamptons.
That's a real long drive. Like
Yeah.
it's nice though. Once you're out there, like it's a beautiful area.
I keep
All
hearing
Long
about that.
Island, like, I love all Long Island, man. Like when I work out there, I like the visuals. It looks like Jersey until you get to the beach, and it's just beautiful, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love our Jersey Shores.
Me too. Me too.
But
It's actually I'm a big Jersey Shore guy. That's where I met my wife.
and we love our
Good old
Jersey Shores, good old East Side, as we used to call it. But
Yeah.
now it's kind of funny. I remember a few years ago, not a few years ago, I'll take it back, 6 years ago. I remember Seaside was getting a facelift. Like it
It's
was being
beautiful now.
they made it more, they were making it more family oriented.
I love it. I take my kids there as often as I can.
I took my daughter to the Jenkins's because she loved the aquarium. So, that was a good ride for me. When you have a 3-year-old in the car.
That's tough. Yeah.
No, it's tough, but you know what? When you look at it, it's a lot of fun when you see their joy. Even if it was a crummy day, even though it was misting, they still had the rides open.
Yeah.
So she was able to do some stuff. So things like that make life joyful, and that's what we're always thankful for. You know what I mean?
Why we do what we do.
Yeah, for the love of it.
Stuff,
Yeah, for the love for the kids and the love for what we both do.
Yeah.
Music is a huge part of your life. Like now, I'm now doing this for 2 years now. Like now 3 months on my own. And let me tell you, I've met some great people and I've talked to some great people. And episodes are coming. And I'm thankful every day that I get to talk to somebody new.
I love actually. I was just listening to some of them last night, and I'm like, oh my god, you got your niche, man. You're doing well. I like what you got going on for sure.
It's something different because it's not an interview, but it's also a conversation. I want, as a special guest, I want you to feel comfortable.
Sure.
I don't want even I had a big name Christina Bear and Karen Defa. I didn't want to make them uncomfortable, like ask him 3 million questions. Let's just have fun on the show,
Yeah, I mean,
and
just normal questions, man. Just you're doing like I haven't like had to think too much. We're just having a
no,
good conversation, which
oh
is
yeah,
it's
and
just like
that's
I haven't seen you in a while, so it's a good combo.
yeah, it's like like if we had a couple beers, if you and me are drinking either water or iced teas, or not sure what you're drinking. Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, oh yeah, got to relax a little bit.
Nah, I don't blame you, man. But that's the thing, and for me to see you too, Rich, it's been a while, you know what I mean? It's been a couple of years before, it was always fantasy football. We were always having fun with that.
Yeah,
We get to see each other once in a while here and there. And and that's one thing I love about what I'm doing now. Not just because I get to see you, but we also get to promote you here tonight.
yeah, I appreciate that. Thank
You
you.
know what I mean? And I definitely want people to realize, hey, besides you being a cool dude, but I want people to know, like, here's where he's at. This is the party. You guys got what, about six besides you and I think it was Nick. I think it was
Yeah, but Nico, we got a bunch of guys.
Nico.
A really, really amazing, talented group that I work with. Mostly contractor guys that do this part time. So
But still, you
some of
guys
them do
got
it part time, and they think it's part time, and they jump into it now. It's really full time, and they got full time jobs, and they're doing 3 events on weekends, and they never come up for air, man. Like
yeah.
like Nico, he's a teacher, man. Or a teacher's aide right now in Jersey City, doing full time with special needs kids, and then bust his hump 4 days a week DJing. It's insane
That's insane. God bless
because
him.
he loves it. Because he loves it, and that's why I like working with guys like that so much.
And that's awesome because seeing who you got also Anthony, you got Juan, you got I don't want to mess up his name,
Mohasir, yeah,
Moz here. Thank you. I didn't want to mess up the guy's name, so I apologize. And then you got David too. You know what I mean? It looks like you guys are awesome, cool cat crew. You know what I mean? And I know you got the photo booth going on,
yeah.
which is cool because I remember a few times you needed help, and I was like, "Damn it, I wish I could."
Man, that's a lot of people, like a lot of my friends run my photo booths on the weekends. You know what I mean? Just to get out of the house and whatever. And they can pay $100, and it's fun. It's easy. So yeah.
Trust me, if I ever need it,
Next time you see a post, give me a shout.
Oh, I probably will. So don't worry about it. But like you said, it's like the love, and that's what I love what you do, and that's how, being in New Jersey, being Jersey grown, both of us, we're proud New Jerseyans, and this is why I love what I do here, and to support the local businesses. So at this point, man, I can't thank you enough for being on the show, Rich.
Listen, Al, thanks for having me, bro. I really appreciate it. Sleevy G show it's pretty dope, man. I'm really excited to be on here with you.
And I really appreciate you coming on. Now, dude, where can everybody, as I call them, the sleevesters, but where can everyone find you on TikTok or IG, where you're at?
All right, so I'm at Zenrgy Productions, which is probably a little harder to find than DJRichResz. That's RESZ. So at DJRichResz on Instagram, and you'll find all my other stuff on there, and you could definitely find me there. And come check me out, guys. Like, it'll be really fun. It's a good vibe, no matter where I'm at. So it's always a good vibe, good music. So,
well, you heard it there, folks. Check him out. Check out his website. Definitely check him out at zenrgyproductions.com.
yes.
His website, for his company. If you guys are looking for a bar mitzvah, sweet 16, wedding, corporate party, everything you could think of, he's your man right now, guys. So check him out. Now, also, give him a subscribe too everywhere on Instagram, whenever you can find him. Subscribe to his page. But also, see this right here on YouTube land? It says subscribe. Hit that button for me too. Leave a like, leave a comment. Also, check me out on Spotify, Good Pods, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place, guys. So check us all out. And like I said, thank you for everything, Rich. Again, I really appreciate you coming out tonight and talking to me about.
Thank you for having me. God bless you, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And guys, all I gotta say is this: love, peace, and happiness. Good night, everybody.
Night.